Dr. Weingarden with Weingarden Psychological Services. This is the fourth and last installment in a series about anxiety coping skills or parasympathetic activation. We covered deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, grounding, and guided imagery. And what I want to do today is combine all of those skills in a mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness refers to our ability to hold our attention or shift our attention to a specific stimuli. We think that we should just lock our attention onto something, and sometimes we judge ourselves when we can't do that. But if we could just do it, we wouldn't need to practice it. The whole idea is to shift your attention and to be able to have the insight of when we need to do that, such as when we're caught on something anxiety provoking. We call that ruminating or perseverating. We might want to shift our attention elsewhere. So it's kind of like building a muscle. When you lift weights, you don't just hold them there, you repeatedly move them. In the same way, we want to build the strength to shift our attention as needed. When we're anxious, when we need to focus. It's a skill that we don't always hone in our day-to-day life, except maybe if we're paying attention to a teacher in school, studying, reading. But with so many things that are easy for our attention to latch onto, that are vying for our attention, scrolling on our phone, TV, it doesn't build up that muscle. This is something that many of us need to practice. So when I do a mindfulness meditation, I start with some deep breaths, and I continue that deep breathing throughout the practice. So if you haven't learned deep or diaphragmatic breathing, maybe stop now and go back to that video. So deep breath, slowing down my breathing, making sure I'm breathing diaphragmatically. What I'm going to start with is listening to the sounds far away. Any sounds outside of my building. It's hard to hear, but there are cars passing on the main road about half a block away. I hear voices in another room in this building, and I'm shifting my attention back outside. I'm listening for sounds within the structure of the building. Creaking walls while the wind gently blows. I hear the front door opening and footsteps. And then again, shifting my attention further into the building. I can hear a man's voice in another room. Can't make out the words, of course, but it's deeper, booms a little bit, and carries. Other sounds in the building. A little bit closer, I hear the air going through the air duct. The buzz of electronics, the lights. I hear a larger vehicle outside, and I'm shifting my attention back to the building. Further in, I can hear my body moving in the chair. My hand was sticking to the leather. And further in, I'm thinking about sensations on my skin. I can feel a slight breeze on this arm from the air duct, but mostly I notice the warmth of the sun coming through the window. It's spring and it's hot out, and I think the air conditioning must be running because the building's warming up. I can feel my hands on the chair. I'm not sure why, but I feel a cool sensation on my stomach. The shirt feels cool. My feet feel warm. Now that I'm thinking about my feet, I'm wiggling my toes. I feel firmly planted in the chair. My left foot feels firm on the floor. The armrests feel good, supportive. With each breath, I'm going to feel my body more firmly and more deeply in the chair. I'm relaxing my back. Now I'm going to go through some progressive muscle relaxation. I'm not going to tighten each muscle, but I'm imagining scanning from head to toe. I feel some tension in my eyes, maybe from the sunlight. Maybe holding a little bit of stress in my forehead. Relax my shoulders. Make my arms comfortable. Feel as though I've let go of my tension in my body. I'm going to focus on my breathing. The air feels cool coming in my nostrils and warm as I exhale. When I focus on it, it makes my nose tingle. I'm going to focus on any sensations in my body. Again, if you notice distractions, gently shift your attention back. And finally, I'm going to move into my mind. I'm going to imagine it like a conveyor belt in a big warehouse. My mind is the conveyor belt itself. My brain is the warehouse. Me, I'm the manager with an office with a big window up above. I can look down at everything functioning. The things going down the conveyor belts, the products of the warehouse, are my cognitive products, thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, memories and mental images. At first, I'm just going to watch. Not latching on to any. not pushing any away. These thoughts come and go naturally, like watching waves on the beach or a leaf float down on the creek. I hear noises of somebody walking up the steps. I'm just going to gently shift my attention back to my mind. I'm going to try to label every thought and feeling and sensation that goes through my mind. That one being sounds that I'm hearing. Sometimes as we let these thoughts go, our mind becomes clearer. Sometimes we realize there's something we're trying to keep track of and we're rehearsing it, kind of like trying to remember a phone number. So when we stop and write it down and remind ourselves it's safe for later. I'm feeling pretty clear in my mind now. I'm going to take a few more breaths and sink deeper into calmness, deeper into the chair. And with the final breath, I'll come back into the room, sort of as if breaking the surface of water when coming back up from deep in the pool. So there's a sense of calmness that I tend to feel after these exercises. And it's something that I try to do morning and evening when I feel levels of stress or realize that I'm not coping as well, and make sure that these skills are sort of at the tips of my fingers, sort of rote muscle memory, because these are things we can do silently, just in moments, on a bus, in a meeting, anytime we need to, but only if we've practiced them. And doing it in the morning sort of sets the tone for the day. Doing it in the evening helps us fall to sleep. All of this builds a stronger foundation. It lowers our baseline anxiety. If we carry a certain amount of anxiety in our body and in our mind throughout the day, let's say maybe it's 30 out of 100, that means we only have the other 70 points till we hit panic, maybe only 40 more points until we're uncomfortable. So we want to lower that baseline anxiety. Right now, maybe I'm at a 10. That means I have quite a buffer before anything really rattles me. So practicing this builds that resiliency, builds that calmness. It reduces the stress and stress hormones that can build up in our body. Sometimes when we do this, we realize we have good reason to be anxious, and we can write those things down, address them, but we do have to clear our mind and not carry them with us, realizing that doesn't do us any favors. I appreciate everybody sticking with me through this 4-part series, and hope this has been helpful for you. And I look forward to hearing any comments, and hope you stick with us for future videos. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.